First Things First is sponsored by Gillette, the best a man can get.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to First Things First. I am Jenna Wolf. That's the Hall of Famer Chris Carter. This is Nick Wright. We have made it to Friday, boys. We have made it to Friday.
And we don't typically do shout-outs on the show, but I would like to give a very special shout-out to a very special family member of the show, one Steph Gosk, who did us all a wonderful favor yesterday, doing some post-show maintenance for all of us. So, Stephanie, kisses to you. We appreciate that. On behalf of the entire staff, that's all. We can leave something to the imagination.
What they're talking about?
Absolutely. Leave it to the imagination, Miss Jenna Wolf.
I'll just say there were two things. I'll just say one of them. Steph is making me go to the doctor finally. I'm not a big fan of going to the doctor. I may have had a cold that has lingered for longer than a couple weeks.
Oh, when you said the doctor, a medical doctor.
Yeah.
Okay,
oh, hilarious, Nick. Hilarious. Hi, Warriors!
That's Wednesday. Today's Friday. Every other Wednesday.
Giddy up.
Good one, Jenna.
He knows. Okay, let's talk about things other than my head. I don't know what else there is to say about LeBron James. I really don't, and I'm the one who wrote this script. It doesn't matter who he's playing. It doesn't matter who he's playing with. Role players, no role players, home, away. Last night, Game 2 against the top-ranked Raptors, coming off what he called his worst game of the season. LeBron James pours in 43 points and 14 assists in the easy win. Easy because guess who else showed up last night? Kevin Love. Kevin Love had 31 points after we all basically had him dead and buried. Cavs are up 2-0 in this series. Here is LeBron James after the game.
Well, I pretty much know that a scouting report on me is going to be to dare me to shoot jump shots, keep me out of the paint, not allow me to go to the free throw line. So over the course of my career, I've just tried to put a lot of work into other facets of the game to try to, neutralize that game plan. I worked extremely hard on my jump shot, and in a few years after my first year in Miami, I started to work on my post game and ways I can score in the post and be just very efficient. And, tonight was just a byproduct of that.
We're going to get to LeBron and everything, but just FYI, I thought that thing that LeBron was wearing was a sling for his arm, and I leaned over and said, is he okay?
No,
Nick goes, that's a bag.
That's a bag, yeah. He's been wearing it to a lot of the post-game press conferences.
I didn't realize that. All right, let's move fashion forward, if we will. Cece, how are LeBron and the Cavs able to just dominate the Raptors, besides the mental edge that they just somehow seem to have over this team?
Well, the biggest question mark coming into this series was what would the role players do?
Right.
And in different games, game number one, the collective, the role players, Tristan, Jeff Green, those players, they showed up. JR, they showed up big in game number one. In game number two, the star showed up, and that's Kevin Love. LeBron finally got the all-star that all of us have come accustomed to seeing. Now, we didn't expect Kevin Love when Kyrie left for his game to go backwards. We thought, and there were portions during the regular season, we thought Kevin Love, this was the best basketball that he had played since coming over from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, he had went through recently, especially in the playoffs, the worst stint of basketball that we saw him. He came out of it last night. And LeBron said in the press conference that Kevin Love had a look on his face as if he was in the zone and he was demanding the basketball. So they went to a lot of sets that where LeBron and Kevin Love were on the same side of the court, where LeBron knew they weren't going to double team him. They did a lot like Boston did in the first game against Philadelphia, where they passed the ball, till they got the matchup they wanted, which was Kevin Love, and they just kept force feeding. And Kevin Love took advantage of that. And then LeBron, after seeing that, and then the game kind of got a level set, the energy initially he knew would be there. Toronto played a good first half. Then LeBron decided to take over. And at that point, he played the game, and his shot making, I would say, was either one of the top 3 games as far as the difficult shots that he decided to take and the ones that he made. I mean, it was a brilliant performance from him offensively. So Kevin Love, this would be game 2 would be the game that it was forced upon. Kevin Love, because people had given up on him, but his teammates and a few other people, they hung in there with him. They kept him at the 5 starting lineup. I believe Ty Lue, giving him that overall confidence.
He didn't want to be there.
What his teammates had told him. And I was on Nick last night on the phone. Man, Kevin Love's teammates like him. Kevin Love is a good guy. He works hard, fits his role within the team very well. And LeBron mentioned it later on, what Dwayne Casey in his role as a defensive assistant for Dallas, it forced LeBron into be able to make these type of shots because that bad performance that he had in the finals against the Dallas Mavericks.
Listen, your points on Kevin Love are well-founded. When we were on the phone last night, one of the funny things you said is the Raptors playing so bad, they're going to make the Cavs a contender again. Getting everyone back on track, getting the Kevin Love back on track, getting everyone back on track. But while the Kevin Love part of this was important for the Cavs long-term, important for the Cavs in the next round, very important for the Cavs no matter who they will end up playing in the NBA Finals, the story of this game turned into what LeBron did in quarters 2 through 4. Because after quarter 1, didn't look like we were going to have any type of special LeBron game. He waited. Kevin Love I think, took 8 shots in the first quarter.
Was that intentional? Do you think that was LeBron's game plan? Come in, get the other guys involved before I do anything?
Absolutely intentional. And then LeBron realized, oh, my shot's falling tonight. And when that happens, good luck, good night, no matter who you're playing, much less if you're playing a team that you have beaten 5 consecutive road playoff games. 5 times in a row in their building in the playoffs you've won. 8 in a row in the playoffs overall. And so what LeBron was doing last night, to steal a line from one of my favorite writers, Josh Eberly of Hoop Mag, he was Kobe's shot selection with Shaq efficiency numbers. He was taking absurd shots, still shooting close to 70% for the game. And so what we had last night was a guy who somehow is at the peak of his powers, controlling a playoff game, unlike, and I can't believe I'm saying this, we've ever seen him control a playoff game. LeBron has never contributed more points as far as scoring and assists in a playoff game in his NBA career. What about on the defensive end? Guys guarded by LeBron James last night shot 11% from the field. He tied his career high in playoff assists. He was 2 points off his career high in playoff points. If we just drop the threshold, he had 43, 8, 14. If we drop the threshold to 40, 8, and 11, make it a little more rounder numbers, a little easier. Show America the full list of times that's happened in playoff history. Take LeBron out of it. It happens once every 25 years. Jerry West in 69, Drexler in 92, Russ last year. LeBron has done it in 2015, in 2016, in 2017, and last night. The total full control of the basketball game, unlike anything we've seen from him, which means unlike anything we've seen from almost anyone ever.
And aren't we tired of sort of asking how he's doing this at age 33, at this deep into his career, without help basically from everyone else around him, how he continues to do we're almost tired of asking because we expect it of him. Because on the nights when he has 30 points, we're like, oh, it was an off night for LeBron James.
Yeah, well, he's never been able to shoot the basketball as well as he's shooting the basketball. He's never handled the basketball because these things, the segment is how these things got forced. They forced Kevin Love into playing well. Dwayne Casey, what he did to LeBron in Dallas, forced LeBron to have the arsenal that he has now. When Kyrie Irving forced his way out of Cleveland, it forced LeBron to have to handle the ball more. So you're able to see some different things. But it's allowed us to see the best basketball because he's called on more to do that. He dribbles the ball more. He's got to rebound more. But his overall shooting efficiency, and he talked about this offseason, he had some type of injury to his elbow that he believed helped him correct something in his shot, that he believed his shot was better than ever. It's a confidence factor. Man, it's rare to be able to see this. Like, I saw Michael Jordan. And when Michael Jordan got done, we had conversations a lot like this. Like, man, I don't think I'll ever see another basketball player like this. And now we're having the same conversation with LeBron James.
And I'm going to make one request to whether it's NBA Twitter or folks on television or on the radio, anyone talking about the NBA. Do not call the Raptors today the baby dinosaurs. Do not talk about how this team was overrated or overstated. That's not what this is. This was a 59-win team that buttoned up all their deficiencies, that got themselves the best bench in the league, that has an all-NBA caliber shooting guard and a fringe all-NBA caliber point guard who had home court advantage, fully healthy after winning 59 games. This is not about them. It's about that guy right there. They can't beat him. They have never been able to beat him, and they will be added to the NBA graveyard of teams in the East, the yeah buts. Just the way the Big Three era with the Celtics ended. Just like the Derrick Rose era with Chicago never got off the ground. Just like the 60-win Hawks went into tank mode 2 years after winning 60 wins. Just like the Paul George, Roy Hibbert, Indiana Pacers. Now the DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, Toronto Raptors. A whole bunch of, oh, they could have done it. Yeah, they could have, but they had to go through this guy. And nobody's been able to go through this guy in this conference for a decade.
And CeCe, you touched on it, and we will touch on it more, the role that Kevin Love played last night and the decision Ty Lue made to play Kevin Love at the 5, which was obviously turned out to be a very good one. We'll get to all of that in just a bit, but coming up, was last night more about the Celtics being good or the Sixers being bad? Did you hear what happened in this game?
Man.
Next on First Things First.